Rick and Morty, the complete 7th season, Blu-ray review. The adventures of Rick and Morty have been loved by many over the past decade. The show follows the interdimensional exploits of the sociopathic scientist Rick Sanchez and his grandson Mortimer Morty Smith. Starting as a cult favorite on Adult Swim, it has evolved into a global phenomenon and has won 2 Emmy Awards and received 5 Emmy nominations, including one for Outstanding Animation Program in 2023. Impressive, right? Now, as we thaw out from a long winter, Warner Bros. Home Entertainment is easing the transition to warmer days with the release of Rick and Morty, Season 7 on Blu-ray, hitting shelves and online stores on March 12th. If you're a fan of the series, you might have been apprehensive about the 7th season due to the departure of co-creator Justin Roiland. However, the show remains as vibrant as ever with fresh voices for Rick, Ian Cardone, and Morty, Harry Belden, infusing the characters with new energy. This season provides a wealth of imaginative content with no shortage of heart, offering some closure on long-running threads such as the misadventures of Mr. Poopy Butthole and Rick Prime. Without giving away any spoilers, this 10-episode run is one of the strongest yet. Our favorite episodes from Season 7. That's a Mort. Rick and Morty Season 7, Episode 4. In this episode, Morty stumbles upon the unsettling truth that Rick's renowned spaghetti is crafted from the organs of individuals from a distant planet driven to suicide. Yikes! Despite the grim origins of the dish, Rick and Morty opt to exploit this peculiar biological phenomenon. Beyond its bizarre premise, the episode offers compelling social commentary and delivers fantastic humor, solidifying its status as one of the season's standout episodes. Unmortricken, Rick and Morty Season 7, Episode 5. This pivotal episode advances the overarching narrative, particularly the Rick Prime and Evil Morty storylines. Unlike previous canon storytelling episodes, Unmortricken achieves tangible progress, marking a significant milestone in the ongoing Rick Prime arc. Call me crazy, but it definitely tugged at the old heartstrings. Fear no more. Rick and Morty Season 7, Episode 10, Season Final. The season finale emerges as a fan favorite, captivating viewers with its gripping storyline. Rick and Morty stumble upon a mysterious hole in a Denny's that reveals the deepest fears of those who enter it. Trapped until they can escape, the duo engage in profound philosophical discourse, questioning their reality and existence within the confines of the hole. As the episode unfolds, it not only delves into the characters' development, but also delivers an intriguing sci-fi narrative. The Blu-ray release of Rick and Morty Season 7 offers stellar picture quality and DTS HD 5.1 master audio, enhancing the at-home viewing experience. For collectors, the abundance of special features offers an exclusive peek behind the curtain at the talent behind the show. And for die-hard physical media enthusiasts, fear not, there's a steelbook edition available to complete your collection. Reviu. Rick and Morty Super Spring Break Special No. 1. One of the strengths of the sequential art oeuvre put out by Oni Press is the great range of writers they score and the wide berth those writers are given to do their thing, and the first ever Rick and Morty Spring Break special is no exception. James Asmus and Jim Festund have a history of teaming up for some pretty brutal anti-capitalist comicry. Check out Survival Street. So it's a safe bet that when they put together a Spring Break-themed Rick and Morty spectacular, it's going to be way more Infinity Pool than Mondo Daytona. And this comic is most certainly geared towards the most adult of adult audiences. It's got quite a bit of gratuitous violence and sexual content. It's a pretty important plot point that Summer has a locker key stuck deep inside her ass after some sexy spring break shenanigans, backed up by some pretty hardcore questions about the legacy of colonialism. The comic is broken up into 3 distinct parts, each illustrated by a different artist. Despite its candy-colored color scheme, this is a challenging read. There is a blunt approach to the social commentary of Spring Break Special that is reminiscent of the merciless independent comics of the early 90s. Each section pivots from the last in a natural disruption made even stronger by the variations in style brought by each of the different artists. The first part is illustrated by Australian artist Dean Rankine, whose work can be found everywhere from Bongo to Dark Horse. Rankine also drew the Mega Issue's first cover option, a raucous Rick getting rowdy with the perfect spring break crew. Unity, Mr. Poopy Butthole, a Lady Gazorpian, Mr. Nimbus, and the Mailman. It sets up the tale of Rick and the kids heading to the spring break planet, Xysimo, which interrupts Morty's one shot at looking good in a beret for his model UN club. Cover B was created by Susie Blake, which depicts Rick winning a wet t-shirt contest, despite the fact that he's wearing a short-sleeved button-down. The three-breasted alien lady that came in second is right to be pissed off about it. Blake's crowd work really shines with this cover. Each alien guest is getting up to its own kind of festive mayhem. I'm not sure which is weirder, the little red guy with the lava lamp spirit thing strapped to his back, or the fact that there's an alien hitting a beer bong with a standard Earth-style IPA. Either way, it's a lot of fun. The second part of the story is illustrated by Tony Grigori, and the art style grows just a little bit creepier as things escalate on the spring break planet. There's also a wraparound cover done by Mark Ellerby that has a whole lot of great greasy beach action going on. Ellerby also did a number of glorious pinups to this super-sized comic, of which my personal favorite is so many Jerry's cooking franks together, while a creeped-out Gazorpian watches from a safe distance. In the world of comic books, there is a small minority of people that see variant covers as just another gimmick used to sell more funny picture books, and that is most certainly part of it. And there are also those who collect variant covers because they hope that they will become valuable someday. But a really strong cover collection can totally serve as part of the story's narrative before you even start reading. It can make you gravitate towards work that perhaps you hadn't noticed before. They make the argument for going into your local comic book shop just to take a look at all the ways different artists interpret the work contained within. They also offer a great platform for up-and-comers and veterans alike to show off a little bit of what makes their style special. A lot of the time, if a cover artist isn't directly involved with the rest of the comic's production, they will only have the vaguest idea about what the issue's storyline will be, and in their guessing and imaginings, a delightful dissonance is created. Certain expectations are born when you see the cover of a comic book, and then the reader is disabused of these notions throughout the whole read. Just because we see Rick partying with Unity and the Mailman on the cover, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be what happens. Which brings us to the final variant cover by Angela Trezino, who also illustrated the third section of the Super Spring Break special. Unlike all the other covers, which all rock a certain Tahiti treat color scheme, Trezino leans more into a yay comic pastel vibe. It's quite clearly different from the others. It also has a hitherto unknown character front and center, a painfully earnest-looking young man named Mark Skidowski. The incongruous nature of this cover just fills you with dread, and for good reason. I won't go into the details of this third story at all, but it finishes the story off in a devastating fashion. Even if you can't afford to buy all the variant covers of this comic, they're still cool to look at, and it's not a bad idea to pick up a second copy just to cut out Ellerby's pinups.